we are back with Larry Miller, the chairman of Michael Jordan's iconic sportswear brand, who's revealed for the first time a secret that he's held for 56 years, that he had lived a life of crime, including murdering an 18-year-old named Edward White when they were both teenagers. In his confessional book, Jump, My Secret Journey from the Streets to the Boardroom, Larry wrote the book with his eldest daughter, Lila, who he says is the reason that he is sharing his story after decades of keeping it a dark secret. She joins us now as well for the conversation. Lila, thank you so much for joining us. You were 2 years old when your dad was incarcerated for the second time. As I pointed out, from 16 to age 30, he had found himself in this cycle of going back and getting into trouble. I'm curious, once your dad found his way, found his path forward, he was on a job interview, as he details in the book, and he was about to get the job and decided, I'll tell the truth. I'll tell this person my criminal past. And he lost the job. And from that day on, he decided to keep the secret. You're now an adult. Are you able to put yourself in his shoes? Why that day changed it all for him as far as keeping this dark secret?
Absolutely. And I understand completely, because the perception at the time, and still it's still pretty prevalent now, is that if you've committed a crime, that you are furthermore untouchable. And knowing that he was capable of greatness, and just him being able to see a future for himself, I can completely understand not wanting to do anything that might potentially derail that, especially if, when you see yourself as having grown beyond the darkness of your past.
Were you ever worried, as you encouraged your father to reveal the secret, that he could lose it all? I mean, so far, Nike has stood by his side. Michael Jordan, all of the people who were there for the rise are still there. But there's always a chance. We know, people will abandon ship very quickly if they think that it's sinking. Were you worried that he would lose it all?
I was concerned that there may be some backlash, but I know that he is strong and he is smart and could figure his way through. I also knew that he had reached a point in his career where he was pretty solid and feeling, very safe and comfortable in his status, and if anything were to come, I was pretty certain that he could weather it. But yeah, that was a concern.
Larry, it sounds to me also in the book that while, as Lila talked about, you were solid in who you are, you were the boss's boss, so to speak. This was eating away at your soul. You started to have health issues, migraines. So the physical toll, we talk about the cost of keeping a secret. On one hand, it could have come at a financial cost, but you were experiencing the secret as it relates to your health and the deterioration of it.
Absolutely, and one of the other good outcomes of this for me is that the more I shared my story with Lila, the more we talked about it, the more I got out, the more the burden seemed to kind of lift for me, and the nightmares stopped, the migraines stopped. And so I know that holding this secret inside and, being concerned and afraid that it might come out was also physically affecting me.
I know that, as I said earlier, your debt to society, the way you're trying to right this and forgive yourself for this reckless act as a teenager and move forward, is that you're working on educational programs that help people who are incarcerated have a second chance, that no one is a throwaway. Is this, Larry, the next chapter? Is this the next success story? Will this, when people look at your bio, are you hoping that that is the first thing that they see and maybe not the Jordan brand, that this guy bet on other people?
Well, I'm hoping that that this does have a major impact on a number of people's lives. I think, to me, this is a story that I hope can resonate with people and can also maybe change people's perception of formerly incarcerated people. We are in the process, or we're working with couple organizations. One, Vera Institute for Justice. We are working with them to try to figure out. They do a lot of good work in terms of working with people incarcerated and formerly incarcerated. Philadelphia Juvenile Justice Center High School, we're working with them to maybe try to address the 16-year-old Larry Miller who's out there who, you know, may be thinking about or is going down the path that I was going down, and maybe this can help change that person's life and help get them on the right path.
Well, it's an incredible book, and I'm sure it's going to be an amazing movie when it's complete as well. Lila, congratulations on, you know, being a strong daughter and pushing your father to reveal something that perhaps without you he would not have done. Thank you both for joining us. And the book again, Jump, My Secret Journey from the Streets to the Boardroom, is available today.